Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So firstly, I'm going to apologise if there's any background noise. Henry's out in the garden mousing so he's on stalking duty and he's not coming in, so I've had to leave the door open just a little bit just in case he has to make a sharp exit. But I'm coming back with the cute Christmas. This is a Rawsome Christmas with these cute dinosaurs and the beautiful sort of holographic foiling. And then you've got your full sheet of your dinosaurs with their little Christmas lights. The foiled one has got these beautiful stars on, and again that light pattern. And then your sentiments, not sentiments, your inserts match that. So I thought today I would do a card. I have done it before, but it was quite a while ago. So I thought I'd have another little go at that. So the first thing I'm going to need is my scoreboard, my tool, and one piece of the 6x12. And what I'm going to do is just start scoring as if I was making a gatefold. So I'm going to score at 3 inches on both sides, just because I've got that smaller board. Otherwise you would be scoring at 3 and 9. So you should have this 6-inch piece in the middle. Okay, and then if I put that one out of the way, we'll give this a little fold over and a burnish down. And, oops, alive. And burnish down. And I'm not going to use the other folder yet, the other porcelain bone folder. It's not porcelain, it can't be porcelain and bone. A porcelain creaser tool yet, because I am going to be chopping into this in a second. So I'm going to take another piece of this 6x12 and I'm going to cut this at 4.5. And then obviously we've got that piece left over for another time, but this is the piece we're going to use on our card today. And then I'm going to pop this in, put the crease up on that cut line, and I'm going to cut down to the 3. And I'm going to do that on both sides, so we're going to have 2 shortened panels. And then if I pop this in at 3 inches, should be able to come across to that 3-inch mark and meet. And again on this side here, so again on that 3. And I can always tidy those pieces up if I need to. At the moment that's the shape I've got, so I've got these 2 little gatefold doors on there. So let me just put that to the side and bring my scoreboard back in. And this piece here, I'm just going to score at 4 inches. So this is going to be my gluing tab right there. Good boy. Let me just shut that door. Please. Okay, he's decided to come in. I'm guessing he was not successful, because he is looking around to see what else is going on. Okay, so now I can give this a really good burnish down, and my other pieces too. And that little fold line there is going to be my tab there. And I must have done that at 4.25 rather than 4.5, but it's still plenty to get this stuck onto here, and that's going to go on the top there. Okay, and obviously we will hide all of our workings. Now, because we've got that beautiful foiling on the actual kit itself, I'm going to bring in a piece of this. This was a special Miri deal last year. I think the mirror deal they've got at the moment is different because it's larger squares, but you could just use your holographic if you wanted to. So the first piece that I'm going to do is for here, which is going to be 6 by 6. So I'm going to take 2 notches off that 6, and I'm going to do that on 2 sides. So if I pop this in, this should fit really nicely in there, and it does. Okay, and then these pieces here are 3 by 3. So if I cut this at 2 notches under the 3, I'm hoping I'll get 2 out of this piece. So 2 notches under the 3. 2 notches under the 3, and those are our little front doors. And then the top one is going to be 4 by 6. So let's have a look. So we're going to be a little bit less on that one. Let me just check to see if I've got another piece of that, or we may have to change tacks. I've got a feeling that was my last sheet. Oh, that was silly. Let's have a look. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is for the top piece, I'm going to change over to holographic, which is just a 6 by 6 mirror mat. So I will use that elsewhere. I'm double checking I haven't got anything else under there. I might have a little story space. What's that size? No, that's not going to be. Oh, I just, in my brain, I was going to get it all out of one piece. Never mind. Okay, so this top piece is going to be slightly different. So I'm going to do 2 notches off the 6 and 2 notches off the 4, and then that is going to mat and layer onto there. I'm just going to see how that coordinates. It might be a case that I do change all of it. So that will go over the top. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just redo it, because if I don't and I glue it, then I've lost this piece, which I can just use on another card. So let me just recut that again. Sorry guys. So the piece for the back, at least it's a reminder of the measurements. So the piece for the back is 2 notches off the 6 on 2 sides, just to make that nice square. And then just check that piece there. So 2 notches under the 3, 2 notches under the 3. And this bit's going to be too small, yes. But this bit should be fine. Now there's probably a much economical way, a more economical way to do that with the actual mirror card. Possibly if I cut the 6 by 4 mat first, which may be a lesson for me. Okay, so I think we will go with the foiled cardstock. Now on the inside I'm going to do use an insert, so I don't have to worry about that too much. So I think the piece on the top, which is going to be 3 3/4, by 5 3/4, and that will fit onto that piece there. Of course, you can always emboss that, or you know, sort of add that a bit more to that if you wanted to. And then this piece here, so I am using quite a lot of this. It's going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I want 2 of those. So I've pretty much used most of this cardstock. We've got a decent piece there, which is about just over 5 inches, so we could always make a 5 by 5 card with that anyway. So the next thing I need is just to swap my trim out for my guillotine, and then just decide which insert I'm going to use. I think I use this one that matches the cardstock we're using, and that just needs to be 5 3/4. There we go. So those are all of our pieces that we need. So let's do some construction. So I'm going to glue this piece on first of all, and I'm going to use some red liner tape, just because that is the strongest tape that I have, especially when, you know, I'm doing a video and I want it to stick quite quickly. I would, if I was making this again, I would make this a 1/2 inch. Just gives you a bit more of a tab there to get that stuck down. So yeah, make it 1/2 inch and then just score at the 4, and then you've got a 1/2 inch tab. Okay, so I am going to pop a little bit of Cloud tacky glue just on these corners, and just really lightly along this edge, just to give us a little bit more sticking power. And then just to pop this together, I'm going to line these up nice and straight along the top. And then I'm buttoning it up. I'm just going to pop that down. And then that fits on. And then our card, it sort of goes like that. It's hard to show you, but it sort of sits on a shelf like that. So it's called either a Dutch door or a Dutch oven door, depending on where you look. Okay, so now we need to hide some of these workings. So the glue in here, just my usual glue, which is the Kalau All Purpose, and like I said before, the tacky glue is in that one. I'm also going to be using Crafter's Companion dotty tape pen for the insert, just because I find that this glue, this tacky glue, can cause it to sort of bubble up as it's drying, and it just makes the card look a little ugly, and I don't like that. Okay, so just putting that in nice and straight, and then I'm going to come in with the insert now. I think I'm going to have my stars going left and right, so I'm going to pop my insert on like so. So I can use the all-purpose glue because that's got an alcohol content to it, so it's perfect for this kind of application. And then if I just rescue my little tape pen, and just on the corners, just where I normally put tacky glue, and just in there, that's just going to keep that held down nice and firmly for me while we work on the other layers, and I don't have to worry about that moving around. Nothing worse than everything shifting while you're working on another piece. So just get that nice and straight, give that a good press down, especially as we're hoping that people are still going to use it as an insert and write on it. There's nothing worse than trying to write on something that's got bumpy glue underneath. Okay, so let's grab. So So from here on in, we're just using our normal glues, which is the tacky and the all-purpose. The majority of it is glued with the all-purpose. I just used the tacky for the corners, just because it can take the shine off your coated cardstocks like your Miri. It doesn't, it kind of makes it look a bit like brushed metal when it damages it, so, which is fine if you're going for that look, but if you've just got one little spot on the whole card or project, it is just, and your eye will find it, nobody else's will, but you will see it, and it will bug you like crazy because you will be annoyed with yourself. I'm talking from experience here, so okay, so let's go. So I did say I was going to go, yeah, I am going to go that way. We'll have them like little doors. And like I say, I have made this card before in the past, a long time ago. I've used the other, oh dear me, have I used, what did I do with them other ones then? I'll put them away. Well, I've used these now, so it would be a nice contrast. I better pop them away instead of these ones. Never mind. Okay. It's going to pick up on the foiling on these anyway, so there we go. It does make it harder to see whether they're actually straight though. Okay, and then this one here, that nice burnish down. Again, we're coming in with our glues. I was watching a video today, I can't remember who it was. It's not somebody I usually watch, but it was a Spellbinder video. And she was making like a box card with all like the frames and that. A beautiful card it was then. She finished it, but she went wrong. Well, she never went wrong. She decided that the tab to enclose it all, she wanted that to go to the back and not the front. So she did start it pretty much all again. She kept the arch layers, and I was like, oh, that's the kind of thing I would do, just because I know it would bug me to bits. Okay, so that is how our card is going to look as a decorated card bank. Okay, so those are just bits of card, we can get rid of those. Let's bring in the toppers. Now, the toppers I was thinking for this is either going to be this one or the square one. Now, I kind of thought this one would be better with a sentiment on the top. Have a roarsome Christmas. I like the A Gift from Santasaurus, but that's quite a long sentiment. So I kind of thought this one would go a little better, maybe some gems. And then on these bottom panels we've got these two buttons. We've got the little dinosaur with his lights, and then we've got some stars with the little feet, and they're just the finish. Could go with this smaller one. Let's see what that one looks like. I think that one's going to be too big anyway. No, I like that one. I want to fill that space a bit more. And then we can have this one coming across. Okay, we have got a border there we could use, but I'm not going to use that on this one. So let's just grab that nail file and just take these little pips off. I've been watching the tennis today, so it's quite an exciting match with the young Spanish lad, Alcaraz, something like that. I think it's our Brit, the only Brit left in, I think now. Emma is on at the moment. There we go. So let's grab some foam pads as well. I'm going to use some of these Crafters Companion. These are, no I'm not, because I've got these Hunkydory ones here. These are 2mm, and I've got some 1mm ones as well. So let's go ahead and pop these on. I think I'm going to put these on smaller pads. We'll go with the 1mm on those. Have you guys been watching Hunkydory towards the end of last week? I did order again. Well, that stained glass Christmas kit. It's just gorgeous. I was watching it, well, like when I saw the week come up, I was like, well, the magazine, I get that delivered anyway, so that's brilliant. I hadn't realised that had come around quite so quick. It just seemed to creep up on us, considering it's like bi-monthly. So every 2 months it comes out, but it seems to come around really quick each time. And that is gorgeous, so I've got that to play with still. And I was, like I say, I was watching it and I was like, no, I don't need anything else. I've still got the other 2 kits to play with this. I've got all the ones I haven't used yet with this. But I did fall in love with it, like love at first sight. So I did get the whole package. Because I thought that book will come in, you know, like the little book. And these ones I'm going to use the 2mm foam pads. So we're going to give them a really nice bit of space to breathe on our card. Yeah, so you'll be seeing those at some point. Really want to spend a good amount of time on each kit now, you know, sort of. I don't tend to do the sort of like the specialist kits, you know, like the little ready-made cards, those sort of thing, concept cards. I'm going to go a little lower with this actually, just because I think most of them are pretty, you know, self-explanatory. The only exception to that was the birds one, because I really did love those birds ones. Let's put those out the way. Let's not put them there because they're going to get buried. Yeah, because even though they were a concept kit, I never made them up as a concept kit. I always made cards out of them, and there was quite a lot you could do. Okay, so I'm going to pop this under. Yeah, I'm going to come down a little bit. I think that's not quite straight, which is why we put that PVA glue on. It's not supposed to stick. Going to give it a little bit of time to move that. That's fine. Now for gems, thinking. I mean, we could go with any colour because we've got those little colours on there. So let's see if we've got some sort of leftover ones. So I'm just going to rustle away. So we've got those. We've got a purple dinosaur, so we can clean those. So I'm looking for these sort of glittery ones. And I did order some more gems. Some more greeny ones. Have we got any red ones? We've got those ones. Trouble is, they do fall down the back of my drawer. Oh, here we go. We've got those ones, they're Crafters Companion ones, but I think that will be enough. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just take, well, we've got some red ones there, so we'll use these ones. So we've got red, green, haven't got any blue, but we can manage without. Okay, let's grab use my knife. So I'm going to go red, green, we've got a yellow, we have got a yellow, red, green and yellow on there, and I'm going to go with purple and a light green there. These are all the sort of smaller sizes, and then I'll use let's go with one of these darker red ones. That's a bit smaller actually, so let's go back to red this side, and one of these purple ones, this little lonely purple one here. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to leave it like that. So if you've got any odd gems, I think this one is perfect for using those up. And just pop those back in the drawer. But that is our first card. And like I say, it's called either a Dutch oven door or a Dutch door. And it stands with its door slightly open, so you get that sort of front piece leaning forward and quite prominent. And I guess if people are hanging the cards, it's still going to open a little while it's hanging. If I just, do you know what I mean? So those doors are still going to prop open even if it's hanging with a string through there, if you know what I mean. So you know, like you can put things on a string. We used to at Christmas when we used to get loads of cards. But yeah, I'm not really seeing the difference between that holographic mirror there, so that's not offending me in any way, so I'm liking that. So I'm happy with that one. So that's card number 1, and I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I thought I'd come in again with another piece of 6x12 and do just a normal sort of gatefold, but it's an off-center one. I've done it quite a few times because it is like in my top favourite cards, because I just love it. I think it's just a perfect way to add something a little bit different to your card, and it's all made in one go because you have to decorate the inside as well. So it's one of my favourites. So just taking the 6x12, I'm going to score at 4. And then I'm just going to rotate it around just because I've got the smaller board, and I'm going to score at 2. So this space in the middle is still 6 inches, so we're still making a 6x6 card. And you could go even further than this if you wanted to. You could have 5 inches here and 1 inch there. Obviously if you've got a 3 and 3, it's a normal gatefold, but yeah, and there's lots you can do to it in this stage as well. So like when I burnish it down, what I have done in the past is take a cutting die and cut this into a circle, or you can pre-cut a circle, just fold a little bit of it over to make a tab, and then add that on. And you know, you'll see examples of that, especially like with the Puppy Love kit that was a members free gift at one point. Made a really stunning card with that. So you know, you've got options once you've folded this over. You don't have to keep it as boring edges. And I think I actually, if I remember, I might come in with my corner round. Let's put it there to remind myself, because lately I have got a terrible memory. So I am going to need 2 pieces, and I'm going to use silver mirror on this one. So I need to decorate the inside first of all. So I'm going to cut that same mirror, same as the last time. So 2 notches off the 2, and this is quite you know, I do this a lot, 2 notches off the 6 all the way around, as one of my sort of base mats for that sort of size, because it just gives me that tiny edge of white around the edges, and it does mean that my cardstock goes a little further for decorating. Okay, And then this piece is going to be 2 notches under the 2 and 2 notches under the 6. Let's just get rid of that little bit there. That's going to fit onto there quite nicely. And then the outside piece is going to be 2 notches under the 4. And we've got a nice piece there we can use as a border if we want to. And 2 notches under the 6. And that is going to fit onto our piece there. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, so for the back piece, what I've already done just while I was getting ready, I just got the guillotine out again, and this is 5 3/4 on 2 of the sides, and that will fit nicely inside. And then for this piece here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it at 5 3/4 first of all. Now I know I'm going to need just slightly less than that, but it just means that I can trim this to the right size this way, and I've got a nice chunk of card there that I can use elsewhere. So if I was, and I have done this in the past, if I was to cut the same size piece off there, what I can then do is pop a bit of ribbon down the middle, a border, something like that, and that will become a whole nother card. So yeah, it's worth doing. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. So we're just going to cut his little leg off, but he's not going to mind, and that is going to fit onto that side there. And then this one here, I'm going to turn that around, and I'm going to cut 1 3/4. So he's going to lose a bit more of his leg, but he's too interested in his lights to worry about that. And then that's going to fit onto that side like so. Okay, so that is our card blank pieces. So like I said, let's pop you out. Let's do this before I do anything else. I'm going to round these corners just for a slightly different look. And I'm not doing it on the outside edges, so I'm only going to do it on the inside edges. And this is just a little hunky-dory punch. And then I'm going to do the same on these, so just on the inside edges, or the outside edges, like so. And same on there, like so. And then again on this side, those 2 outside edges. And if this bothers you, you can go around and do all of the corners, but sometimes I just like a little bit of difference in the look. Just sometimes adds a little bit difference. And I'm not doing any rounding on the inside because that's going on the inside. Okay. So again, coming in with these glues, and we're just going to pop, because this is the cardstock, you can use both the glues quite happily without having to worry about anything puckering up or anything. But on insert, I will use that tape pen, just because that's a dry glue. So it's going to work a little bit better for us. And the most important thing, whatever size you do your mats, just make sure it doesn't interfere or come anywhere near those creases, because that will affect the folding of your card, which can be, again, another heartbreaking situation. So again, with this all-purpose glue, and we just put our little dinosaur the right way up. And this is quite a cute image for Christmas, isn't it? Little young lads, or maybe even girls. Let's not be sexist, some girls do like dinosaurs. There we go. So I'm just going to get this out again, just give that a good burnish down. And then, no, not this one first. And if you wanted these doors to come over further, so let's say instead of having 4 inches on this side, you wanted 5 inches, what you can do is exactly the same as I did on that last card, is cut yourself a piece of 5 inches, add half an inch for a tab, so 5.5 inches by 6, and then you can pop that on, just glue that down, hide it under all your insert, and that it'll all be hidden, and you can have that overlapping over this edge if you prefer. So again, options. And sometimes I like to do this when there's a sort of quite a plain piece of cardstock, you know, because and you've only got a small topper left. Sometimes it's you can really make that kit go a little further for you with a sort of more plainer piece of cardstock. But I like the fact that we've got this whole dinosaur, and I may not even use the topper on it. I might just use a sentiment. We'll see if it covers up too much, because we have got these 2 cute dinosaurs on here already. It might only need just a sentiment, maybe that big one, make a real statement. Okay, so just popping that on, put it down, giving that a good press down, so you can see we've already got quite a nice little scene going on there. So I think if I was going to use any, it would be this one, but I don't really want to cover them up. So let's have a little look at the sentiments and see if we can get away with. So Christmas gift from Santasaurus, and we've got time to share some festive fun. Oops, come on. This one does not want to come out. Okay. Time to share some festive fun. So I'm feeling like that's too much. You know, it's going to hide either him, or it's going to hide this little guy here. He's super cute. So I'm going to leave that off and just go with a sentiment. So nice and easy. I think that one's probably going to be the nicest. And then just have some gems on that side. Okay, let's go chunky with it, seeing as it is the only thing that's going to raise us up. So I did drop some foam pad bits on the floor there, but I'll find those in a second. It's falling apart. And again, and there. When I keep forgetting to say, there is Crafty Calamity has got a sort of competition going on over on her channel, so it's worth checking out. I'm not sure if it's her channel or her community tab to see how you go about entering. It's all Hunkydory kits. I think it's one big prize she decided to do in the end. She was going to do a couple of winners. I'm just going to pin that up a little bit more. It's just not quite straight. That wasn't. I think it's right now. Yeah, happy with that. And then for gems, where shall we go with gems? Shall we go silver? Shall we go sequins? The only whitish sequins I've got are these yellow ones, and they never look yellow until I put them against something else. And the other sequins I've got are these black ones, so they're too dark. I have got some clear ones. Could use those. those. I've got these other clear ones as well. It's just really using. The other thing I could use is pearls. I don't want to put too many on here because I'm just a little bit aware that if this goes to a small child, although children don't tend to really play with cards as much, do they? So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'm just going to use these ones up. Let's see if we can get rid of all of these. Just decided to stick to my knife. There we go. And then we have a smaller one. And have I got another smaller one? Some of them are a bit heart-shaped. That's another heart, so we will do the others this sort of bigger size. Slightly smaller, I think. There we go. Use those. Okay, so that is our 2 cards for today. So gatefolds, I guess both of them are in their own way, but we have got that extra panel on. Like I say, that Dutch doors. Where are you gone? There you are. So with that one we've gone in with the bright colours with the gems. And this one we've just gone just a few there. It's just how long you get to move things around. It's still moving. So that is the 2 that we finished for today. So I will be back on Tuesday. And again, I'm going to come in with I think it'll be the last play with this cute Christmas. Maybe the cats or the dogs, not quite sure. I do love those dogs. They are super cute. But I'll come back last play with that. After that, I'm not sure if I'm going to sort of come in with the magazine, do a couple of videos with that, or whether to carry on with the other kits first of all. You'll have to let me know what you sort of prefer, if there's something that you prefer me to do. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed your weekend. See you again soon. Happy crafting. Bye.